Good morning, everyone, and it is pretty chilly outside right now. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of getting a glimpse of the beautiful, beautiful morning world that is out there. It's April, let's see, what day is this? I should remember. You know, a funny thing about doing YouTube is that because you're like scheduling videos at different times, and because the YouTube calendar goes Monday to Sunday instead of like Sunday to Saturday, the way that like American calendars normally do, you forget what day it happens to be. But today is going to be Monday the 18th. There we go. So it's early in the morning, Monday the 18th. It is spring here in North Carolina, and it is cold outside, like really cold outside. We have a little birdie visitor, hang on. Hey there, little chickadee. Oh, it's Feather, you guys! Ah, yes, you guys got to see Feather. So that was Feather. She is the adorable black-capped chickadee that we have been keeping an eye on since back in August. She is very, very, very cute, and I really like her. We always know it's her because she has little feathers that stick up off the back of her head, and they have just stayed at that wrong angle for a very long time. So fun fact, when birds kind of groom each other and they kind of go through each other's feathers and kind of put them in place, spread the oils, pull out the feathers that are sticking at weird angles, that's called allopreening. And I used to think that all birds allopreened, and that's not the case. A lot of birds alloprene, but birds like chickadees and birds like the Gouldian finches that I have do not alloprene. So even though they're pretty social and they kind of interact with each other all day, you'll never see my birds grooming each other or like going and, you know, you'll see like the Quaker parrots or the cockatiels go back and they'll be like, oh, there you go, buddy, there you go, friend, or like, I'll groom your feathers for you. Or you'll see like the cockatiels will like sit on their owner's shoulders and like start grooming their hair for them. Or in my brother's case, like my brother's cockatiel sunspot will go through and like groom his beard for him, and it's really cute. But chickadees don't do that, so I think that's why Feather's weird little feather has just stuck up on the back like that for so long, and I've really loved seeing her around. They'll fly down to the little window box bird feeder that I have right behind the camera. We kind of lined it up so that if I can catch it in time and not startle the birds away, I can try to record some of those for you guys. So hopefully you'll see some of those in the future. But yeah, we set it up and Feather and the other chickadees will come down and they'll gather up all the seeds and they'll fly off because they will actually take those seeds and put them into the little tree cavities where they can have like a little seed storage area, which is really adorable. And how do I know all this? Because I just started looking it up when we moved here and would see all of these birds. So that's really fun, you guys. It's not like it's hard to really educate yourself about the animals anymore. You just get on, you're like, Google, what do you say about this animal? And allaboutbirds.com is pretty fantastic because that's where we've learned so much about all of the different wild birds that live in the park just right off our deck. And again, I don't live in like a beautiful green naturey wonderland. I just live in the middle of the city. What you guys heard at the start of the video and what you guys probably hear right now is the noise of just like the apartment complex. I think that every now and then they'll come by with a leaf blower and just kind of go nuts through the apartment complex, like blowing away all of the whatever might end up in the hallways. And it's very noisy today and kind of annoying, so I apologize for that. But you guys heard the highway earlier this morning, the rush hour traffic as people are getting to and from school and work, and it's early AM and they've got places to be. And here I am looking off my deck at all of the squirrels and the chickadees and the Carolina wrens and the beautiful crow, and it's there. It's there. I promise you. A lot of people will put off going on those adventures because they think, oh, I don't live in the green space. I don't live near the beach. I don't live near the mountains. What point is there to go look? We saw a fox last night, you guys. There's going to be an adventure vlog, I think on Thursday on the main channel, where we saw a fox off the back of our deck last night, like in the 10:30, 11 p.m. And we live in the middle of the city. You just never know what's going to show up. It's going to be pretty fun. I mean, remember last week when that hawk fell out of a tree right in front of us? We were getting our mail. Like we were standing at the apartment mailboxes, turned, and there's a hawk. So it's just about keeping your eyes open. But I talk about that a lot, and today that's not what I want to talk about. I wanted to publicly announce so that I'm accountable and I have to stick through my new schedule that I'm thinking about for the main channel. And I wanted to explain really quickly, because I actually recorded for like half an hour babbling about this before and it got a little bit random, and I decided I needed to try again about why it's such a big deal for me to try to figure out the scheduling for what we do on the main channel. Because the videos I put up are directly related to the well-being of my family. Having a certain number of videos go out directly relates to the number of views I get on my channel. It directly relates to taking care of my family. It's a big responsibility. So it's so well-meaning and kind when people go, oh, Seri, you don't need to worry about posting videos every day. Don't worry about that. Oh, Seri, you don't need to worry about posting like such and such a series certain times of the week. Don't worry about that. And the truth and the reality behind that is when you make the decision to make YouTube your full-time job, you are taking a lot of responsibility in your hands. And because right now I'm the primary breadwinner for the family, that's extremely precious responsibility inside of my hands. And so the amount of videos I put out, the amount of work that I do, the amount of the times a certain series appears, how popular things are, directly relate to taking care of my family. And there's nothing that could be more precious to me and nothing that could be a bigger responsibility in this entire world than that. And so it's really hard to go, oh, you know, I'm really tired. I'm not really feeling the series so many times a week. I still love it. And that's the big thing is like the motivation will still be there, but I'll start feeling really tired about certain things, or I'll just be exhausted in general. And with my health being so wiggly and wobbly as it has been lately, it's really, really difficult to keep up with some of my schedules. And so lately it's been not so great. As you guys have seen on the main channel, I haven't been able to keep up with it. And that really makes me feel like everything's spiraling out of control. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna be able to take care of my family? And yet, I kind of realized that the moment had finally come where the balance had been broken. And I think that's the thing that I kind of wanted to talk about briefly today, is last night, even though I am so scared because I need to take care of my family, I need to pay off this gigantic mountain of student loans that I'll talk about in another vlog one day, I realized that running myself into the ground to the point where I was getting sick, I'm getting sick so often, to the point where Chips is a little bit like, no, I wish you didn't work so much, it's not where the balance is. And I realized, oh my gosh, I really thought in this bootstrap culture where, and it's very much an American cultural thing, especially where I grew up in the Midwest, especially the like religious culture that I grew up in, and especially with my family having been like so in need so early on in my life, where like even from a young age working hard was really vital to just keep my family alive and fed and taken care of. In that kind of cultural mindset, it's really like workaholic, and I'm already kind of a workaholic personality, so all of it added up. And then I realized last night, oh, there's no more balance, because I've gone from where there would be a balance to complete and utter exhaustion, and everything is kind of spiraling out of control, and I've kind of lost it. And I just realized that what I thought was balance, what I thought would be the feeling of balance that I was chasing, is, oh, I'll just keep working so hard, so hard until I can't work so hard anymore. And whatever the limit of I'm completely exhausted and I can't work so hard anymore is, that's balance, right? And that sounds really ridiculous to say, but I think that that's kind of the mentality a lot of people actually have. And a lot of people, I mean, if you hear a lot of people talk, you're supposed to work that hard. You're supposed to exhaust yourself, or else you're not doing it right. Or else you don't care about like paying off your student loans. You don't care about making sure your family has a safe financial future. And when you work in a creative industry like this, like I have, taking on making YouTube channel videos, taking on telling stories, trying to daily rejuvenate my motivation for being able to tell you guys all sorts of facts about animals and all sorts of amazing things about the world, there's only so much of that energy to go around, and that's really hard to admit. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't think I ever will be able to explain it in a way where I can really express to you guys just how much of a big deal it is to do less when you do what I do at the size that I am. I'm still a smaller to mid-level YouTuber, and it's still, every video counts towards making sure all of the bills are paid every month. And so how can I possibly say, oh, I'm going to rest a little bit more, oh, I'm going to read this book, when I have those responsibilities on my head? And I'm not sure if other people, maybe somebody who writes books or other people who are creative and like use the creative industry as their main livelihood understand the struggle of having to stop yourself. And it's really difficult because everything in my body screams, keep going, keep going, keep going, like work hard, work hard, work hard, because I have a responsibility and obligation to do those things. And then last night, I don't know, maybe it's the gift of the channel finally being big enough where I think that at least all of the main bills will be able to be paid, even if I can't do more. Maybe that's the gift that I've finally reached. But I just realized last night things are going to change. Things have to change. And then I don't really have a way to explain the logic behind it. All I know is that last night I made a big decision on how to schedule things on my channel. And there was a click. And it felt really good. And I realized I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm not sure if this is entirely the right thing to do. But this is what I'm going to try. And so starting in May, and you guys are hearing this a couple weeks early, I'm going to switch my Keystone Iconic series Zoo Crafting to an every other day series. And that's really scary. That's terrifying. Because the number of videos I put out are directly related to the number of views you get, and the number of views you get are entirely the way that you take care of yourself when you're a YouTuber. And that's really scary. So it's really hard to explain how absolutely terrified I feel. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, no, Seri. Like, just do what you want to do. We'll be here for you. And that's wonderful. But that doesn't make the views stay where they would have been if you had been putting out videos every single day like that. And that means that doesn't put your family where you would have been if you hadn't been doing that level of work. And I don't know where I want to go with that. But I just hope it can help somebody to realize, like, maybe whatever I realized last night, just that click of like, no, this is right. And it feels like I have breathing room now. It feels like I have breathing room. It feels like I'm going to have the chance and the opportunity to breathe. And I think that I can keep myself calm and focused if I stay on a really strict financial budget and just monitor things and make sure that I still keep my fingers on the pulse of the really popular series that we have on the channel and why they're popular and what I can do about that. And yeah, it's so hard to explain. Why can't I explain these things better to you guys? It's like the behind the scenes of a YouTuber's life on the practicalities of actually running YouTube are a lot more difficult to explain than I thought they would be. But yeah, so there's my babble, and I feel better. I feel like it's a confessional. I got it out. I said it publicly. I'm accountable to sticking to it now. And I feel really good about it because I feel like I'll have a chance to start tapping into other series. I'll have a chance to start sitting back, and at some point, I think you just have to sit back and look at the work you've done when you do something like this and go, there are over 3,300 videos in this archive right now. And you just have to stop and go, if that can't take care of what you need, then something else is going to have to change, and just keep going from there. So yeah, anyway, I don't know how to explain that better to you guys. It's so hard, but I just needed to say it. I just really needed to say it. So I did. And yeah, it feels like a huge weight off my shoulders. Not because I don't love the series, not because I don't want things to be out there that often, but because it will give me my life back in my hands. When you do something every single day like that, like 24 hours, like not 24 hours a day, thank goodness, I do sleep sometimes, but when you do something every single day, every day of the year, for 2.5 years, it's really, really scary to make a shift, especially when it may be a little bit of a financial shift too. But I think it's the right choice. So enough of that babble. Oh my gosh, that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be able to explain it a lot better the second time around, and I still didn't. So I apologize for that, you guys. But yeah, it makes me excited because now I might have a chance to try out some new things and to hopefully just feel a little bit lighter in my heart and my spirit. And those things may not have a financial component, but like I said, hopefully if I just stick to a really good schedule, like budget, then everything will be okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, all right, I'm going to stop talking about this now. Whew. All right, so now that that is out of the way and I never have to talk about that again because I just needed to say it because it's really scary, and maybe other people who do creative things will understand the kind of ebb and flow of the struggle of how much do I work? Do I run myself into the ground? And people will always say, no, think of your health first, or like everybody needs time to relax. And it's like, that's wonderful. It's not going to pay my electricity bill, but that's wonderful. I really like the sentiment. So we're gonna have to see how this goes. And I just feel like I'm on the right path. So there's that. Story, chapter closed, story done. And I just wanted to share a couple of my joy moments with you guys really quickly to kind of wrap up the morning, including, I think I may have mentioned this. I'm not sure if I ended up like babbling and then restarting. It's been like an hour of trying to do this now. It's kind of embarrassing or ridiculous. But we saw a fox last night. So there's a joy moment. I'm going to share 3 of the most recent joy moments with you guys so that hopefully if you are doing a joy journal and following along, then maybe this will inspire you to like get one out and just like write down one thing even that made you really happy over the last few days. And last night about like 10 or 11 p.m. Chips looked out his office window and saw a fox in the backyard where behind of our apartment complex is. And it was really fun. So that's the second time we've seen the fox. I managed to get it on camera. We'll have an adventure vlog that's going to go out on Thursday where you guys will be able to see the fox on the main channel. I was really excited. Well, I say see the fox, it's like this grainy little blur that kind of moves among the leafy grainy blurs behind it. But it was very, 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 very exciting. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy seeing that. It was a lot like more, it didn't have like a super bushy tail. Like the tail was bushy, but not like whoosh bushy. It was just like fluff, like a straight cylinder of fluff bushy, which kind of surprised me. And you could see the white bib under its chin as it was eating whatever it was eating out there. So that was kind of interesting. And then let's see. Oh, we're about to hit like 60,000 subscribers on the main channel, which is kind of a gigantic deal. Oh my goodness. Estimates are we might hit 100,000 on the main channel this year. And that's the result of a lot of hard work. Like I was talking about earlier, a lot of hard work and amazing things. So, oh man, like it's very surreal, but that's been a huge goal of mine for a long time. Not because of like the sub count per se, because subs don't really matter. Like the sub count doesn't really matter for the health of a channel. The health of a channel is directly related to how many views it gets every month, because that's what's related to your paycheck. And I know channels that have like over 1 million subscribers that make like maybe a third, fourth of what I do every month, just because they don't really post anything and they're just super popular, but there's not a lot there. And so like, yeah, like sub count is not a corollary to a healthy YouTube channel. Views are. And so it's just fun to know that if we hit 100,000, then we'll be at a level where I can just know that there's that many people out there that I can tell facts about the natural world to. And that's what's really exciting for me and really surreal. And then it's like, whoa, chai me. If you had talked to people in my life like 5 years ago and told them that I would talk to like 60,000 people almost every day, they would have been like, you don't get it. Seri, she's super shy. She hardly says a word all of the time. She can hardly like get a peep out even when she's super excited about something. And so YouTube has really changed my life that way. Just learning to speak confidently, even if I'm still figuring out how to speak elegantly and concisely, especially to anybody. You just learn to follow what you love and just be passionate about it. And I've changed my life and have been able to inspire the lives of so many other people, and that's amazing. So I think that's why I'm excited about the idea of reaching 100,000, is because of the educational opportunities. I could teach so many people about so much stuff. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I could try to do some good in this world, because I feel like having an audience that size is really like you have a moral obligation to try to change the world somehow in a good way. And for me, that's usually always related to environmental things. So I'm really excited about what lessons I could teach people, what changes we might be able to make. Even if I can just put a little seed of inspiration or a seed of caring enough to like use reusable bags at the grocery store in just a fraction of those, the people who watch, that could do something amazing and change the world. And I don't think I could ask for anything better than that, than to leave a legacy where hopefully I can have made this world a better place simply through teaching people how to respect it and how to admire it and how to be inspired by it and how to keep their own curiosity and their own passion for their interest alive. So that's really fun. So that's kind of why I write down like how many subs we have, not because it's like, wow, look at me, I'm so famous, but because that's that many people I would have an opportunity to hopefully teach and inspire, and that's amazing to me. That's the best. That's the best. All right, and so let's see what else. And then this is a quote that I saw on Tumblr today that I actually wrote down. Fun fact, when I lost 100 pounds before, I followed a lot of the healthy fitness Tumblrs, not the ones where they're like Fitblurs, and for people who aren't on Tumblr, like, and I'm just kind of like, it's a source of stuff to look at every day, so I'm not really active on it or anything. But I was when I was really trying to lose weight, and I tried to surround myself with really positive messages, and that's really kind of what helped. Positive messages and ideas, and just people sharing the inspiring little snippets of their daily journeys, and not really the like burn yourself, make the fat cry, that kind of crowd. I don't think that's healthy in the long run for most people. And so I was on Tumblr today, and I'm trying to kind of get back into the groove of feeling like I'm really pushing my life forward in a healthy manner. And I saw this beautiful quote, and it said, "You cannot hate yourself into a version of yourself that you love." And that is really true. That's really true, and that really is reflective of how I kind of have changed my life, is by not hating myself, but by finding even the tiniest little minute way to love myself, not indulge myself in a bad way, not in a way where there's a little voice in the back of my mind going, yeah, you know that extra box of zebra cakes is not a good thing for you. Not to indulge that way, but to just be more patient with myself and to be more understanding of myself and to not hate myself. That's when everything started changing for me, which not coincidentally was when I also dumped a very bad ex. So yeah, that's what I really loved about that quote. And then let's see, yes. And then a fun little random silly joy moment from yesterday. I found an edit of Elliot from Stardew Valley. So for those of you guys who don't watch the Stardew Valley series, you have no idea who Elliot is. But I found an edit for Elliot of Stardew Valley where it puts his hair up and it puts like seashells and seaweed all over him. Because there's this kind of running idea in the fandom of Stardew Valley that he's like a merman who has come onto land to write novels. And I really love that. And so I'm going to put the edit in the game. And hopefully it'll show up. It'll be a long time before it shows up because of how much Stardew Valley I've recorded, but it'll show up in the future. And so I just thought that was really fun. So you can have the serious, you can have the like inspiring, you can have the silly, you can have the things that happened like the fox, whatever you need in your joy journal. That's what it's all about, is just being able to look back the next day and being like, yeah, yesterday was a pretty good day. And even if yesterday had some really hard moments too, if you encourage remembering the moments you're grateful for or joyful for, it starts changing your life. It really does. So enough babbling. This is going to be kind of a weird vlog, I know, because of the things I talked about earlier with scheduling and the struggles of finding balance on YouTube. And I know that most people probably aren't going to be able to relate to that, but I feel good for having said it. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll have more. I just know that having talked about those things has freed me up to be able to feel like I can pursue things that just bring me more joy and bring it to you guys and share it with you, because that's what this is all about. And I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.